Ever wondered who the wealthiest people in history were? Names like Rockefeller or Carnegie might come to mind. But what if I told you that some of the most incredibly wealthy individuals in history were black? Africans, and their stories have been largely overlooked, or even intentionally erased. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 7 black African millionaires and billionaires from history that you probably never learned about in school. Get ready to have your mind blown. First up, the man who is often considered the richest person to have ever lived, Mansa Musa, the emperor of the Mali Empire in the 14th century. His wealth was so immense, it's almost impossible to describe in today's terms. We're talking about a fortune built on Mali's vast gold and salt mines. When he made his pilgrimage to Mecca, he spent so much gold in cities like Cairo that he actually destabilized the local economy for years. Imagine having that much money. His generosity and investments in Timbuktu turned it into a legendary center of learning and culture. Next, let's talk about a queen who was not just royalty, but a business powerhouse. Queen Zingambandi of Ndongo and Matamba, in what is now Angola. In the 17th century, she masterfully controlled the slave trade routes, not by participating in the chattel slave trade, but by leveraging her position to negotiate with the Portuguese and Dutch. She was a brilliant military strategist and diplomat who built immense wealth and power, all while fiercely resisting colonial encroachment. She played the European powers against each other and maintained her kingdom's independence for decades. Moving on to the 19th century, we meet William Leidsdorf, a true pioneer of early California. Of Afro-Cuban and Danish descent, he became one of the first black millionaires in America. He was a master of trade, owning the first steamship in California, building the first hotel in San Francisco, and serving as the city's treasurer. His business empire was vast, and his influence was instrumental in the development of San Francisco before the gold rush. His legacy is embedded in the city, with Leidsdorf Street named in his honor. Then there's Biddy Mason. Born into slavery in 1818, she walked over 1,700 miles from Mississippi to California. After winning her freedom in court, she worked as a nurse and midwife, saving her money and investing shrewdly in Los Angeles real estate. She went from having nothing to becoming one of the wealthiest women in the city, with a fortune estimated at around $300. Zero at the time of her death in 1891. That is equivalent to many millions today. But she wasn't just about wealth. She was a renowned philanthropist, founding the first African Methodist Episcopal Church of Los Angeles. Let's also shine a light on Mary Ellen Pleasant, often called the mother of civil rights in California. She was a 19th century entrepreneur and abolitionist. Her story is shrouded in mystery, but we know she amassed a fortune through smart investments in restaurants, laundries, and boarding houses, guided by financial tips from the wealthy men she served. She used her wealth to fight for justice, funding John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry and winning several civil rights cases, including one that desegregated San Francisco's streetcars. And we can't forget Jeremiah Hamilton, known as the Prince of Darkness, on Wall Street in the mid-1800s. He was a notoriously ruthless and brilliant broker who defied all racial barriers of his time to become New York's first black millionaire. He was a master of financial maneuvering, known for buying discounted and counterfeit stocks and ruthlessly suing major companies. By the time he died, his fortune was worth over $2 million, making him the richest black man in the United States. Finally, there's Madam C.J. Walker. Born Sarah Breedlove to formerly enslaved parents, she built a haircare and cosmetics empire from the ground up in the early 20th century. She identified a need, developed her own products, and created a massive sales network of women agents. She is often cited as America's first self-made female millionaire. Her story is a powerful testament to Black entrepreneurship, innovation, and economic empowerment in the face of immense adversity. These are just 7 examples of incredible individuals whose stories of wealth, power, and influence have been sidelined for far too long. Their legacies prove that Black history is world history, filled with pioneers who built empires and changed the world. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this as fascinating as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden stories from history. See you next time.